There is a strange paradox that sits at the heart of human intelligence. Those who possess the brightest minds are often the ones most uncertain of their own brilliance. The truly gifted rarely feel gifted at all. Instead, they experience their intelligence as restlessness, sensitivity, and alienation, as though their mind is both a blessing and a burden. The world calls them brilliant. They call themselves flawed. In this contradiction lies a profound philosophical truth. The more consciousness expands, the more aware it becomes of its own limits. 1. The doubt within brilliance. The gifted mind lives in a perpetual state of questioning. It is not content with knowing. It needs to understand. And yet, this endless desire for understanding often turns inward, transforming curiosity into self-doubt. The person who sees the vastness of knowledge realizes how little they truly know. What others perceive as intelligence, they experience as inadequacy. Because awareness magnifies ignorance. To question one's own intelligence is not weakness. It is the mark of a mind alive with wonder. The philosopher Socrates once claimed that true wisdom lies in knowing one's own ignorance. The gifted person, then, is trapped in that paradox, knowing too much to be naive, yet not enough to feel complete. Their humility is the price of their vision. Their insecurity is the shadow cast by the light of awareness. 2. The mind that cannot let go. When a problem enters the consciousness of a gifted mind, it does not merely pass through, it lingers, burns, demands resolution. Such a mind cannot let go because it refuses incompleteness. The unfinished thought, the unanswered question, the unresolved tension, all of these become obsessions. To an outsider, it may look like anxiety or overthinking, but beneath that intensity lies a profound devotion to truth, a refusal to accept the half-formed or the superficial. This relentless mental turning is the soul's way of pursuing order within chaos. It is the intellect's attempt to restore coherence to a world that rarely offers it. The mind that cannot rest is not broken. It is alive, endlessly circling its own ideas until they crystallize into clarity. This is not weakness. It is a form of intellectual integrity, an unwillingness to leave the universe half-solved. 3. The sensitive soul. Giftedness is often inseparable from sensitivity. The same nervous system that detects complexity in ideas also perceives subtlety in experience. Bright lights feel too bright, noises too loud, emotions too sharp. The world enters the gifted person not softly, but with piercing clarity. Every detail becomes a symphony or an assault. This sensitivity, while exhausting, is also the foundation of their depth. It allows them to experience life not as background noise, but as vivid texture. Every color more vibrant, every sound more meaningful, every touch more profound. It is no coincidence that many artists and thinkers are both fragile and fierce. They live at a higher resolution. They suffer deeply, but they also see deeply. The pain of sensitivity is the cost of perceiving beauty in its truest, rawest form. 4. The art of seeing patterns. Among the defining qualities of giftedness is the ability to see hidden patterns, to connect dots invisible to others. The gifted mind is a web weaver. It recognizes structure in chaos, rhythm in randomness, unity in disarray. What others see as unrelated, the gifted see as intertwined expressions of a deeper logic. This is why they can bridge disciplines, merging science with art, reason with intuition. Their cognition moves diagonally rather than linearly, finding connections where others build walls. But this same ability can be isolating. To see too much is to live slightly ahead of one's time, and often to be misunderstood. The visionary walks a lonely path precisely because their vision extends beyond what most eyes can perceive. 5. The tyranny of perfection. Perfectionism in the gifted is rarely vanity. It is the natural consequence of seeing what could be. Their mind perceives potential, the invisible ideal behind every imperfect attempt. So no matter how well they perform, their work always feels incomplete. What others call excellence, they call a draft. This chase after an invisible standard is both torment and propulsion. It drives the gifted to transcend mediocrity, yet it also robs them of rest. They live under the tyranny of almost. Every achievement dissolves into a new demand. And yet, without this dissatisfaction, the great art, theories, and inventions of humanity might never exist. Perfectionism, when tempered by compassion, becomes creation itself, the human desire to manifest the ideal in an imperfect world. 6. The feeling of being out of place. To be gifted is often to feel alien. In a room full of people, they may speak the same language but not the same frequency. Conversations that satisfy others feel shallow. The world moves at a pace too slow or too chaotic for their rhythm. This sense of isolation is not arrogance, it is divergence. Their mind operates differently, noticing subtleties, questioning assumptions, feeling too much. Philosophically, this loneliness mirrors the existential solitude described by thinkers like Kierkegaard and Camus. To be conscious is to be separate. To see deeply is to be estranged from the ordinary. Yet in this estrangement lies authenticity. Feeling out of place is often the first step toward finding one's true place, not among the many, but within one's own depth. Chapter 7. The Hunger for Truth. Curiosity is the heartbeat of intelligence. The gifted mind is rarely content with surfaces. It wants to know what lies beneath. Why becomes its eternal refrain. This insatiable questioning is often mistaken for overthinking, but it is, in truth, the purest form of wonder, the same wonder that birthed philosophy, science, and art. Curiosity is not just an intellectual trait, it is a moral one. It implies that the world still matters enough to be explored. It suggests a refusal to become numb. The gifted person's endless curiosity keeps them young in spirit, forever unfinished, forever reaching. In a world that prizes certainty, their questions are acts of courage, reminders that mystery is the soul of existence. 8. The power and cost of intense focus. When the gifted mind finds a subject worthy of its attention, it dives in completely. Time dissolves, hunger fades. The outside world disappears. This is not obsession for its own sake. It is immersion in meaning. Intense focus is the mind's way of merging with the object of its fascination. It is a momentary unity between thinker and thought, artist and art, scientist and discovery. Yet such focus comes at a cost. It can lead to exhaustion, neglect of the body, or isolation from the ordinary flow of life. But within it lies the seed of creation, the capacity to achieve what others deem impossible. The world's greatest advancements are often born from such sacred intensity, from minds that gave everything to a single vision. 9. The gift that feels like a curse. Here lies the ultimate paradox. Being gifted rarely feels like a gift. It feels like being restless in a sleeping world, like hearing symphonies where others hear silence. It feels like being too much and not enough at once. The gifted suffer not because they are broken, but because they are awake. Their struggle is proof of life's depth, that consciousness can burn so brightly it hurts. Yet through that pain, they bring forth beauty, insight, and progress. Every restless question, every sleepless night, every pang of alienation, these are not flaws, but fingerprints of a mind working in extraordinary ways. 10. Final reflections. The philosophy of giftedness. To be gifted is to stand at the edge of mystery, to see more, feel more, and question more than the world expects. It is not a privilege of ease, but of depth. The gifted live in tension between clarity and confusion, humility and brilliance, isolation and connection. Perhaps the true gift of intelligence is not what it produces, but what it reveals. That the mind is infinite, that imperfection is the sign of growth, and that wonder, not certainty, is the truest form of wisdom. To the gifted soul who doubts their worth, your restlessness is your courage, your sensitivity is your vision, and your endless questioning is your quiet rebellion against ignorance. The world may not always understand your fire, but it is that very fire that keeps humanity from going dark. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.